Welcome back to My Milk, everyone, the advice show where the hardest part of recording these episodes is doing this intro because for some reason I'm horrible at doing intros. It's also making sure my hair looks halfway decent because for some reason that's also a problem. But I hope you guys are doing well. It's the start of the summer, which means that it's hot out. It is really late at night and it's almost 80. It is still very warm. I'm hoping my computer doesn't overheat while I'm doing this recording. For today, we have a special episode because it is a double prompt episode. And I personally like the double prompt episodes because I kind of like the challenge of combining the two prompts together and making one just nice mesh of a prompt. That way, it's almost like kind of getting two birds with one stone. You feel more satisfied with the end result. And they're a little bit more fun to edit because you're not talking about the same thing for 20 minutes. You're talking about two different things for at least 20 minutes. So, starting off, we have two separate prompts, but again, we're going to combine them together. Prompt number one: how to get stronger mentally and physically. And that already in itself could be a double prompt. I think it's a very broad question because that's two different things. Physical health and mental health are two different obstacles. And again, I'm going to start off with this big disclaimer. I'm not a professional. I'm not even like a life coach. I don't have any professional experience in giving advice. I give advice because I feel like I can at least point people into the right direction. If any of my advice does not sound good to you and you don't feel confident in what I'm talking about, then you don't have to do it. You don't have to even try it. You can just ignore it, or you can tell me why I'm wrong, and I am more than welcome to take the feedback. And again, if you ever feel like any of this stuff is really not working and you're still struggling and you think that you are stuck, go talk to a professional. They are meant to do this. This is their job. They will guide you into the right direction and they will help you. And if not, at least talk to someone that you can trust, get some good advice from them. It's it's a battle, but it doesn't mean you have to do the battle alone. As far as the first prompt goes, how to get stronger mentally and physically, again, it's two separate things, but they do coexist with each other. Getting stronger mentally might mean that you have to get stronger physically. You might have to push yourself more in life, doing more physical activity, get yourself on a better routine, eat better things, stuff like that. But I can go into a clear list of stuff that I would deem important when it comes to mental strength and physical strength. So, when it comes to mental strength, there's a lot of stuff that you just need to practice. I think we're very reluctant to get into your own headspace on stuff because it's scary. It's scary to be alone. It's scary to be in your own thoughts. And quite honestly, it's scary to dig into past stuff. And I think that's probably my first advice to you is learn to let things go. Learn to let things that you feel pent up about that are still holding you back and holding you down. Find ways to healthily find healthy ways to let things go. Stuff that in your life is now just a burden towards your mental um, growth, towards your mental maturity, things that you have held on to for way too long and you don't think it's helping you anymore. It's okay to let those things go and move on and move forward. A good example of something to let go of if you're struggling to let go of things is bully. Um, if there's someone in your life that bullied you about something, maybe it's something you wore or even just something about you in general, and you still harp on that and you still think about it, it's okay to let go of those things because they were hurting probably at that time too. They were probably not in a place of genuine feels. They probably just wanted to hurt your feelings. And if it's still affecting you, then that means that they're winning. And you don't want that to happen. You don't want to let them win, and you deserve better. Letting go of stuff like that shows that you're growing as a human. It shows strength, and those things that mattered years ago don't matter as much anymore. So Letting go of the past is huge in developing into a stronger mentality on life and a stronger person mentally as well. Another good thing that a lot of people neglect is talking to themselves better about themselves. I think it's very easy to kind of just trash on yourself. Your inner voice, your conscience who speaks to you. Some people don't have the voice that speaks to them. I'm one of those people. I don't have a little inner dialogue. I don't have like a voice in my head talking to me. I just kind of have a stream of thoughts and I kind of just go off that. But I still sometimes find myself verbally beating myself up talking to people, and I can tell that the people don't agree with what I'm saying because they see who I actually am and I see who I think I am, which is definitely different from who you actually are. You're your worst critic. You are your biggest hater, you're your worst critic, you're the one that's going to put you down the most if you let yourself. So talk to yourself more positively. Give yourself more compliments and show appreciation towards yourself because you are also not only your biggest critic, you are your biggest motivator. Every day you get up because of you. Your body is the reason why you get up. So you should appreciate the fact that you are given life every single day through your body functioning. And you might not be a perfect human because there's no such thing as a perfect human. And that's okay. So again, go and just give yourself more compliments in life. Loving yourself is only part of the battle, but it is a big part of the battle. Another way to practice mental strength, this will probably be my last tip on mental strength before we can get to physical strength, is going to be practicing discomfort in just life in general. There's a lot of times that we get comfortable doing the same thing over and over again, and we don't do the other contrarian points, like setting up appointments for stuff online. Instead of doing that, call. Start getting more comfortable calling. At one point in my life, I was very uncomfortable on the phone. I actually sucked at calling people and setting up things. So for a whole year, I refused to do online ordering stuff. I refused to set up appointments online. I refused to do email chains if I didn't have to. Instead, I set up time, I would call people, and I would practice talking to people on the phone. It was very uncomfortable for me, but you got to embrace the uncomfortableness. You're not going to learn by doing the same thing over and over again. Like, a good way to think about it, you practice riding a bike by riding the bike. Even though the bike is scary and the bike might not always feel safe and it might honestly feel like you're gonna fall, you wouldn't practice it by just looking at it and going, one day I'll do it. Or you won't practice it by imagining yourself riding the bike. You get on the bike with the training wheels, with whatever support systems that you can have, and you practice riding it until you can actually ride the bike. That's how you should treat a lot of things in life. If it's something routine based, like in the mornings, you only take hot showers. You only do like everything hot. You don't like the cold. Practice enjoying the cold a little bit. Get yourself more mentally adaptable in these type of situations because the world's not going to be a perfect place for you. The world's not going to always cater to the small needs in life. And it's okay to feel uncomfortable with things, but it's not okay to just refuse to do things because of uncomfortability. It's okay to be uncomfortable. If it means that you do these small little steps, doing things like cold showers or practice talking to people or getting rid of your phone for a day so you know what it feels like to be without a device. Learning to adapt to your environments is important. It helps you grow mentally and it shows a lot of maturity in your life. The other stuff that kind of falls with mental strength is physical strength stuff. Pushing yourself to go and do things, going out to the gym, working out, that can build you physically, but it also builds you mentally. Working out, being physical, getting active, That is one of the beginning steps to becoming physically strong. Another one is just learning basic workouts, learning basic routines, doing push-ups, sit-ups, squats, your own physical body weight workouts that help you grow along with your development. Because I mean, a lot of us, that I honestly guarantee, a lot of us in high school didn't do the physical aspect of growing and kind of was just like matured into being a young adult. And if we at that time tackled it and was doing push-ups every single day, doing sit-ups every single day, doing squats, we would be a lot stronger than we were now. Because when you're growing and you're becoming more and more of an adult, that's the easiest time to grow and build muscle. So I wish I did it more. I played sports. I didn't do the workout stuff as much as I should. And I look back and I regret it, because if I did the workout part of it, it would have helped with the sports. And then also it probably would have helped me later on in life when I'm now a little bit older and sometimes I wake up with back pain. Sleep is another good key to help grow physically. Good sleep, um, good eating habits, and also just staying hydrated. All of those things are very big keys to growing better and getting stronger, and having good physical strength is, treating yourself right. Your body is a temple. We've all heard this. Your body is a temple. Treat the temple right. Junk food, processed sugars, and all this unhealthy eating is what causes you to kind of fall into a bad physical mentality, which is the segue. Um, the next piece of advice I was asked to provide, which pretty simple, it is, I'm getting the exact wording. Got any tips for eating healthy? And I'm not a field expert on this. I won't claim to be an expert. I'm not a healthy eater. I eat pretty kind of willy-nilly. I have a bad time of dieting, and I have a bad time of eating at good hours. So I'm not going to claim that all this information came from me. Actually, I will say most of these videos, the information doesn't come from me. I do my research. I go and I genuinely ask people that I would consider experts on the topic to give me some decent advice. And for what I was told, it seems like the general consensus is healthy eating doesn't mean go on a diet. Actually, quite honestly, healthy eating rarely means go on a diet. Healthy eating means that you observe what you're eating. It means that instead of limiting and preventing you from eating stuff that you want to eat, you can still eat those things, but you should adopt the 80-20 mindset, which is 80% healthy, 20% unhealthy. If you are eating healthy for 80% of the time, you are picking the right meals. You're eating a protein, a fiber, and some sort of good healthy fat, and some vegetable of some sort. You are doing your part. You are doing the right thing, and you should just be okay with doing that. That's fine. If you want to have a piece of cake, have a piece of cake. Don't demonize sugar and don't demonize unhealthy food, but you should be aware and you should moderate your unhealthy food eating. If you are constantly like, oh, I can't eat this is awful, and you're going to start to hate eating healthy. You won't enjoy going out and eating with people. That's the biggest problem I find with doing diets is you'll go out and you'll go to a restaurant with friends and you'll feel like you're limiting yourself. But when you are throughout the work week or throughout the school week, you're eating healthy every single day, and then once a week you go out to a restaurant to indulge in some good food and spend some time with friends, you shouldn't have to worry about that, and you shouldn't demonize that feeling. Because everyone wants to have a snack once in a while. Everyone wants to have something sweet once in a while. It's human nature. We do crave sugar. We do crave like the unhealthy foods that we have been provided our whole life. Nothing wrong against that. Just don't do it all the time. Monitor your eating habits and, keep yourself within a good caloric weight, you know? A good piece of advice that I was given, and I'm looking it up to read it word for word because I want to make sure I'm reading this right. 80% of the time you eat something nutritional, and 20% of the time you eat what you want. There's no single diet or food that can cut out that guaranteed weight loss. The name of the game is calories. If you know your caloric maintenance and aren't at least somewhat watching how many calories you eat per day, you'll never lose weight, even if you have the best diet in the world. I agree. I think everyone just kind of defaults to like, oh, let's go. I'm eating paleo, or I'm eating keto, or pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan. You can still eat unhealthy on those diets. The name of the game is calories. Caloric deficit is the most important thing. If you want to lose weight, put yourself to a caloric deficit. Don't undereat, but don't overeat. Find your baseline. Find what works for you and meet that baseline, and just try your best to keep yourself above that caloric deficit. Burning calories is huge. Working out is very, very profitable in regards to what you want to eat. If you are a high caloric eater, you got to be willing to work out and burn some calories. Another thing is liquid calories. This is a big one for me. I'm a big milk drinker. I love milk. This is going to come back later. I promise I don't just have milk on my desk. I promise I had this out for a reason. Big milk drinker. Love milk. Man, did I get a slap in the face when I realized how many calories are in milk. It is basically a liquid fat. So whole milk probably has a major amount of calories. Right now, this is a fat-free, lactose-free milk. It has 1 cup is 80 calories per serving, and one serving is a cup. So in one serving, 1 cup of milk, I'm drinking 80 calories. That doesn't sound like a lot, but it is, because water is 0 calories. You have an option where you could drink something that has 0 calories. Meanwhile, there's that has 80. There's some stuff that have 0 as well. Watching what you drink can also help you eat better, because if you're always drinking sugary food or drinking sugary drinks, you'll probably also want to eat sugary food. But if you balance out a good, healthy diet of preventing yourself from drinking sugary drinks all the time, maybe cutting out alcohol, maybe cutting out soda, things that have lots of high sugars, you should probably look to avoid if you're trying to eat better and have healthy eating habits. Balancing your plates. I know it's hard, because when you see good food, you want good food. You see food that looks delicious, you want to fill up your plate. Proportion control is important. We over proportion as a society. I don't know how far this goes, but I know in at least the United States, we have a real bad problem with proportions. I think it goes to show that when you look at the size of plates country to country, and then you look at a country like the United States, who unfortunately has a big childhood obesity problem and just general obesity problem, you start to see that our plates look a lot bigger than a lot of other countries, and it's because we have been trained to normalize jumbo size stuff, jumbo chicken, jumbo this. It's okay to only eat a little, save some for later, and then eat it another time. Don't have to eat everything in one go. You don't have to finish your plate if your plate is massive. And that's easier said than done, because everyone eats with their eyes. So you go up to a line, you're at a buffet, you're going to fill your plate at the buffet. That nobody's going to blame you for that. But it's better if you just practice due diligence of saying no to certain things, cutting stuff from the plate, making the plate smaller. It will help you a lot, it will benefit you a lot, and it will start to show in your eating habits in general. You start to build a pattern, and then you consistently won't overeat, which is a good thing. Um, Finally, and this is a little bit of a more nitpicky thing, but this is also something I think a lot of us struggle with in at least the United States. I don't know how shopping is in most countries. I don't know if there's a lot of more regulation in most countries. But the United States has a lot of problems with preservatives in foods, high sugars in foods, things that you wouldn't expect to be in foods that you'll find out and you'll be like, wait, whoa, that's crazy. So, the reason why I have this milk out here is I have an app that I found, or I shouldn't say I found, I was suggested to try out. And ever since I did try it out, it has been wonderful. The app is called Yuka, Yuca. It is a free app. It has no in-app purchases. It is just as simple as this. Every single item in a grocery store has a barcode. You go up to the barcode and you scan it with the app. What this app does is it will show you everything beneficial or non-beneficial about the item. So, for example, my milk that I get every single time is a lactose-free milk, and it is a low-fat milk. I'm turning up my screen so I can show you. It shows me that this is considered an excellent product. It's considered 90 out of 100. It scales the product out of 100. You will start to realize how many products are 0 out of 100 because they'll have like 19 preservatives. They'll have food dye. They'll have high calorie count. The protein intake will be poor. The sodium will be high. And you'll be like, whoa, I get this every single time I shop. So it takes a little bit longer to shop. I will very clearly say that because what ends up happening is you get it's kind of a fun little game. You'll be in the aisles and you'll be at the shelves looking at the items and you'll scan an item and you'll be like, "Oh my god, this one's super high, but what is this one?" And you'll kind of go down the aisle trying to find something that works for you. It is helpful. It does benefit because it shows how much the healthy eating that you do starts with what you buy. And you'll start to learn what to avoid and what to look for. You'll start to learn the key words. You'll see it on the item list. The ingredient list shouldn't be 15 million ingredients. Should be like 5 to 10 for most items. And even then, some items it should just be one ingredient. Like I learned something crazy. I get coconut water a lot because I like coconut water to help with help as a diuretic. Prevents me from wanting to do late night snacking. I'll usually drink a coconut water. There's this brand that I get all the time, and I'm not going to say the brand, but I get this brand all the time, and I learned really fast that the brand has like 5 ingredients on the list. Now, it bothered me because why the hell does coconut water have 5 ingredients? I feel like it should have 1 ingredient, coconut water. And then I found a brand that does that. So I started switching to that brand. There is a lot of times you'll start to realize your favorite brand is a horrible brand. It's a horrible like score on the app, and you can also find out this information by just searching it. So if you don't want to put an app on your phone, I totally understand. And this is no plug to the app. I don't know the company and I don't even know if it is 100% real, but I've used it so far and it seems to be true, and you can kind of look up all the information it shows. It's not really trying to push you to get other items. It seems like it's like, hey, this item's bad. I would recommend switching it, which is totally fair. So that's another way to help with healthy eating. That's my personal tip. Everything else I've kind of shared so far has been more of a outsourcing to people who are better about healthy eating. This was mine, which is when you're in a store, watch what you buy because that's how you can prevent unhealthy eating. If you don't buy the food that's unhealthy, how are you how will it ever be unhealthy eating? You can kind of stop the unhealthy eating right at the grocery store. And also, it doesn't save you that much money with going on an unhealthy option. As much as people want to be like, "Oh, organic's expensive." Not not as much as you think. A lot of the times it's not even just about organic, it's just about like plain safe. There's like carcinogens and crazy stuff in food that you wouldn't imagine. Red 40 controls almost every cereal brand possible. I wouldn't recommend purchasing these brands because they don't have good track records. Um, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent here, so I will wrap it up by saying, um, obviously, there is times that you're gonna find yourself eating unhealthy. Don't demonize it. Don't hurt yourself over it. Don't get yourself all wound up because you went out and had a good, enjoyable dinner. If you are being aware of your caloric intake, if you're maintaining a decent caloric intake, you are physically active, and for 80% of the time you eat healthy, it is okay that you indulge 20% of the time. But don't cheat yourself on this. Don't lie to yourself on this because you are your temple. Your body is a temple. Treat your body right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know if the advice helped you or if you enjoyed the advice in the comment section down below. If you have any more prompts or questions that you need to have answered, fill out the prompt in my description. It is just a Google form, takes like 3 minutes, not even, and it can really actually turn into some seriously good advice, hopefully. I do spend a lot of time on this video. I do ask a lot of people for advice to then convey to you guys. So again, the research goes into these episodes. So when you ask advice, I take it seriously and I do my part to make sure that I'm delivering at least halfway decent advice. But that's gonna be it. So have a good one. Peace.